Hey everybody, this is Coinroll Hunter, and we are back. We've got a box of $1,000 of Canadian $1 coins, Loonies as they're called. We've got a hunt. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James, and you're watching my channel, Coinroll Hunter, and that's right, we've got $1,000 of custom-wrapped Loonies. Now, normally I wouldn't know where these came from, but the teller at the bank that I picked them up at told me that these had come from a local laundromat. So they're customer wrapped and rolled here by the laundromat employees, presumably. And I don't know exactly what we'll find. Anything goes. So a couple of things come to mind. One is that customers are putting these in machines one at a time. I think they might be more likely to set aside anything that is color or that looks really cool or different. But then again, I might be wrong, because when you need to do laundry, you need to do laundry. And then again, the laundromat itself might actually buy Loonies and stock a change machine so that people can go in and slide a $5 bill in, for instance, and then get a bunch of Loonies and throw them in the machine without being too picky. Anything goes. We'll see what we can find. We're hoping to find some color Loonies and maybe some low mint ones too. You never know. What would be really cool is if we found some proofs. One of my subscribers messaged me a little while ago to say that they did some Looney hunts and actually found a huge collection dump of proof and proof-like frosted Loonies from a whole range of years. That would be incredible. I'm not expecting that this time around. This is just randomly assorted Loonies from laundromat machines, but you never know. So let's crack into these rolls and see what we can find. Roll number 2, our first commemorative, is a 2006 Olympic commemorative with the loon just splashing down. Very circulated, not in great condition, and it's not low mint either. It's minted just under 11 million, so we're going to throw that one back. If we found this one in really, really nice condition, it might be worth holding on to. Something else we'll be looking for in any Looney hunt are some of the Loonies that were minted between 1997 and 2001. That weren't intended for circulation. So they'll have the obverse of the queen like this one here, and we want to check all of those. This one's a 1990, so that's pretty common. Nothing worth keeping at all. But if we found one from 97, 98, 99, 2000, or 2001, no Loonies were minted for circulation in those years. So we want to be looking through our rolls to see if we find any of those that weren't intended for circulation that might have ended up in circulation. And another one we want to look for is the 2012, like we have here, with no security features. Just like in the Toonies, the old generation Loonies didn't feature the security feature, this maple leaf that's sort of laser etched on the front here that is hard to counterfeit. So we want to be looking for 2012s that don't have that security feature. Well, we're still in that same roll, and looky there, we got something pretty awesome. We got the 2022 colorized Oscar Peterson. Check that out, the great jazz legend sitting at the piano. You see the music notes coming off there and the purple there around that security feature. That is the 2022 Oscar Peterson colorized low mint version of the coin. Awesome. I've just put that there as our first find on the board. I should mention that not unlike the Toonies, the colorized commemoratives of late are minted at 2 million. It's the non-color versions that are really low mint at just $1 million. So we'll be on the lookout for those as well. We're in roll number 6, and here's a really cool one. This is a 2009 celebrating 100 years of the Montreal Canadiens, one of a number of hockey-themed coins that we have here in Canada. This one isn't low mint. It's also over 10 million. So we want to find it in really great condition if we want to hold on to it. But that's a cool one anyhow. We're in roll number 9, and we've got another sports-themed Looney here. We've got the 100th anniversary of the Grey Cup. The Grey Cup is the trophy and the championship celebrating the victor in the Canadian Football League. And so we just like our sports coins. So there you go. Again, this one is minted at 5 million, so it's not incredibly low mint. And again, we want to find it in great condition. Roll 10, and we got another 2012. This one here is the Lucky Looney. This is an Olympic commemorative. It almost looks as though it's been cleaned. You can see all sorts of scratches on the surface. Not in great shape. This one is also minted at 5 million and would be a great find in uncirculated condition, of course. Still in row 10, I got a pretty grungy 2006, but as with most other denominations in Canadian coinage, in 2006 there were a couple of different varieties. One that featured the Royal Canadian Mint logo and one that didn't. This is the one that doesn't. In the Loonies, neither one is particularly scarce. You can find both of them readily, so neither commands a premium. But if you want to fill out your set, you need one with the logo just below the obverse bust of the Queen and one without. Roll 11, we got a gorgeous 2022. We have to flip it over to see if we've got either the Oscar Peterson or the Alexander Graham Bell, color or non-color, because the obverse is the same on both. I have the Oscar Peterson here, and if you check, there's really no difference between the obverses, so you really need to look closely. So we'll flip it and see. And no, we've just got the regular loon. Roll 12 and our sports theme is going strong. Here's a 2017, this one commemorating 100 years of the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's my favorite hockey team, just in case you didn't know. And that one is minted at just over 5 million, 5,150,000 to be exact, according to the Royal Canadian Mint figures. That's a cool one as well. I'm going to put it on the board here. I'm just keeping all the sports themed ones here so we just remember what we found here. Of course, I want to add to the board if we found some proofs, some NIFCs, an American. We've found those before. Who knows? Anything really, really nice to add to our colorized Oscar Peterson would be really cool. Same roll. Here's another pretty shiny one from the 90s. It's a 1992. It's got the double date. It's celebrating 125 years of Canadian Confederation, and you can see on the reverse the Parliament buildings and a family there waving a Canadian flag. That's a really cool one, and in pretty good condition too. Very last coin of roll number 12, and we're going to have a commemorative. We can see this is different. Rather than having the date on the obverse, it says dollar at the bottom. We're going to have to flip it over, and it is the Low Mint 2021 non-color Klondike, minted at just 1 million. That's a great find. Roll number 18, we've got another 2017 commemorative. This time it's celebrating 150 years of Confederation. You can see all sorts of Canadian landmarks here that would be familiar to Canadians. We've got the CN Tower, we've got some bridges, we've got railroads, we've got lighthouses, we've got, I think, wheat elevators or grain elevators, all sorts of things here. This one is a cool one to find. Same roll, we've got the 2008 Olympic commemorative. This is the Lucky Loonie. We're at the halfway point here, roll number 20. We found ourselves another Lucky Loonie from 2008, and I can see behind there we've got another 1992 in relatively good condition. That is showing the Parliament buildings and the people waving. This is what you might see happen on Canada Day, and the timing is pretty good because July 1st is when we celebrate Canada's birthday. Roll 22, and another theme in Canadian coinage, and particularly in these Loonies, is Olympic commemoratives. And this is commemorating the 2010 Olympic Winter Games in Vancouver. And this was issued in 2010. Just over 10 million made. So it's not rare by any stretch, but another cool Olympic coin that you can find in your Canadian Loonie hunts if you're so fortunate to be able to hunt Loonies. Roll 26, and I just flipped it over, and we got the non-color, the more scarce variety of this commemorative, the Oscar Peterson, the non-colorized version from 2022. That's wicked, just 1 million minted. Same roll just a little further back. We got another one that's fairly low mintage. This is the Equality 2019, minted at just 3 million. Roll 28, and we have a commemorative. This is the 2016 100 years of the women's right to vote. What's really kind of cool about this one, from my perspective at least, is that this reverse was designed by Lori McGaw. And that designer, that artist, is someone I met at a recent meeting of the Waterloo Coin Society. So it was a real treat to meet Lori and hear her story about designing coins for the Royal Canadian Mint. Very cool. And I'm glad we found one here in this hunt. Awesome. We're already in roll 30 of this 40 roll box of Canadian Loonies. And I've got a 1987 here. There's nothing particularly special about this coin. It's not in great shape. This is the 1987. It is the most common Loonie you're going to find. This is the year the Loonie was introduced to replace the $1 banknote. And so the mint had to mint a huge number of these, over 205 million of them, to meet the demand for the $1 coin that would be present when the $1 bills were being pulled from circulation. So you'll find lots and lots and lots of these in your hunt, and they're standing up. That's why they've minted coins to replace bills, because the bills don't last nearly as long as a coin will. This one obviously has been around for a long, long time. Roll number 31, and we've got another 2021. We can tell by that obverse where it says dollar. We don't know if we got color yet, so we're going to have to flip it over. And we don't, but we have another Klondike. It's the low mint, 1 million minted only. That's another good coin to add to our collection. Roll number 36, and we've got the 2005 Terry Fox commemorative. Of course, Terry Fox was in the process of running across Canada to raise funds for cancer research when he succumbed to his cancer. He is truly a Canadian icon, a Canadian hero for many. And this one looks pretty nice. On this coin, there are some varieties we can look for all around the detail in the grass. So I've thrown it under the scope, and we have all of the detail in the grass here that we would expect to find on this coin. So this is just the common, I guess you could say, full grass, the way it was intended to be struck. There were some over-polished dyes that resulted in some of this grass losing detail. And so you can find it in various stages of deterioration. But this is a great coin, and it's also in pretty nice condition too. So we'll set this aside. I don't think it's going to upgrade in my book. But we'll hold on to it for the moment, and we'll decide if we're going to keep it or not. Same roll, here's another lucky Looney. This time it's the 2016. Roll number 39, we've got a double-dated Looney commemorative. It's the 125 years of Confederation, but this one is featuring the loon, unlike the one that we saw earlier, which features the Parliament buildings. This one is lower minted than the other one. This one here is minted at just over 4 million, whereas the other one is minted at 23 million. Not scarce. In this condition, it's worth only $1, but I just thought I'd let you know that there are two varieties and one is a little harder to come by than the other. Well, that's it. 40 rolls hunted, and we didn't find anything in that last roll. I will clean these away here, and then I'll give you a little bit of recap about what we did find. Well, I went to clear away that empty box and found that a roll had fallen down and was out of my sight, and I didn't catch a glimpse of it when I moved the camera over to show the empty box. It's almost like we're getting a bonus roll, except that I'm sure I paid for it, so it is what it is. I'll check through this and we'll see. Well, actually, why don't we just look through together? You can see how I'm looking through, looking at the dates. And of course, I might flip some over to see what we've got. Particularly, I'm looking if anything's in really good condition. And of course, the 2012 that we're looking for would have the date on the reverse, not on the obverse. So we know that's not the one we're looking for. Doesn't look like we're going to get lucky. I always check these ones with this portrait. It's a 1991, but this is where we would find those NIFCs. This 2022, we don't know. It could be something good. It's just another loon. Well, it looks like that is going to be all she wrote. Okay, we'll do a wrap up now for real. So for those of you who are keeping score at home, we did get 3 of the 4 professional sports themed coins. The only one we didn't get was the one commemorating the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And that one might be a little bit harder to find because I don't find it very often, but we've got the Grey Cup, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens. And some of them are in pretty good condition too. I don't think any will upgrade in my collection. We found an assortment of other cool commemoratives. Again, most are in pretty nice condition, but not likely upgraders. And so they might just be going back into circulation. But we did find some keepers for sure. We found some color and some low mint. So we got the Oscar Peterson 2 million minted with the color and the scarce 1 million only minted non-color version. And then we got 2 of the Klondike 2021s, both the non-color version, both minted, or this coin minted at just $1 million. So I hope you enjoyed this Looney coin roll hunt here from Canada. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, a like. I would appreciate that. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, CAD Roll Hunter, please do that. I would really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.